Thought our guys had a good week, really competing, really got after it in practice, and I thought that's where the success really started. Guys were focused, did a great job of passing the ball. I think we had 28 assists in the last two games. Played against some really good opponents. And I look back at our RPI when it was, I think 290 against Austin P at that point. Now it's like 109. So definitely making progress as a team at the right time. You always want to get better later, but it's nice to be good in the beginning as well. But I think our guys are certainly making strides, are getting better, playing with a level of confidence, playing with each other. Because I think one of the things that I try not to take for granted and really not overlook is the fact that you bring a young man in, like Jarnell Stokes, as talented as he is, you bring him in the fold. For some programs that can be detrimental. I think it's been great for our guys in our program because both sides, Jarnell has been very engaging, very supportive, and the guys have been supportive with him. So that was probably one of the smoothest transitions that you can think of. So that's been fun to watch, and the guys have really took him under their wing. And I think he's really helped the guys develop leadership qualities because I knew at that first game he played, the guys did a great job of talking on defense, even on offense, to really help him through things. So that part is, as a coach, you bring. I've never been a part of something like that, bringing a guy in without practicing and bring him in the fold. And he's been great, and they've been great. So that part has been special to see. Our bench has been playing well. I think out of 16 out of 17 games, our bench has led the other bench in scoring, which is a good sign. We have guys that are starters, coming off the bench, so that really helps you. Jordan McCray is playing well for us. Kenny Hall, he's played well in his role as a starter. So I just think guys are really hitting their stride. Hopefully, Skylar McBee is really shooting the ball well, playing with a level of confidence. I thought in the last two games, Trey Golden has been really good for us. And like I said, Trey's always been a guy that could score the ball, but I think he's been good as a leader and as a point guard directing traffic. And Jerron has been been consistent on both ends of the floor, rebounding, tough as nails, defending and playing hard.
Coach, you mentioned the RPI. I mean, obviously, are you using that as a barometer for how well you're doing, or do you look at beyond that at all as far as the postseason?
I don't look at it at all, really. I just kind of gauge it. I've been following. But no, not really. I don't really look at it. It's not a measuring stick for us. If we continue doing the things necessary, then we'll be successful. And then where we fall, we fall.
Do you look more at the SEC standings than you do the RPI?
I do, yeah. I look at the SEC standings all the time because that's most important for us and where we're going. Because as a coach, as long as you're making progress, things eventually fall in place.
Is it natural, though, as a coach, to want to look at that, focus on it a little bit more than just
RPI?
Yeah.
Not really. I did a lot in the mid-major level. I ain't gonna kid you on that one, but all the time because that was really a gauge for you. Regardless how you finish in league play, you always watch that. But here, no, not at all. This is probably my first time in the last 2 weeks that I've actually seen it. But no, I don't look at it like that. No.
You finished in the top 50 in the RPI. What was Missouri State last year?
I think last year we finished 38, 39, 40, somewhere around there.
You did an NCAA bid. Was that, I know you say it falls where it falls and you are where you are, but how disappointing was that to have the top 40 RPI and not make the NCAA?
And to finish 15-3 in the Missouri Valley and win it outright, that was tough, but it's part of it. I just think that's one of the things, you've been at that level. And with the NCAA, you don't have a true gauge, or here's the criteria of getting to an NCAA tournament. Because 1 year, it can change on you. So you just hopefully, when it's your time, the criteria is what you need.
Coach, you make a lot about being one game at a time and stick to it. Is that, you talk to your guys at all about possibilities of what might happen if we win our next five, or if you keep it day to day?
I don't really talk to them about it, but I think if you win your next five, I don't think there's any question. In this league, when you have the best team in America in your league and you battle those guys, I don't think there's any question at this level in this league if you win your next five. But you never know. But once again, there's no set criteria to say this, this, this. you just have to do your job and put in work. And when Selection Sunday comes, if you're a part of it, then you're a part of it.
Coach, how much, you know, playing defense is always a tough sell sometimes to players, but when you did what you did Saturday, how much does that reinforce maybe the message you've been sending to them and that, you know, really does pay off?
Well, I just think, you know, that's the level, because what happens, what I make them understand, guys, we have to defend, that's who we are, that's our brand. Now, I want to score a lot of points. The offense will take it. If you can score the ball, then we'll score the ball. Whatever your skill set says, and that's what you do. I mean, Skyler, shoot the ball. Trey goes in and out, he can attack the rim, he can shoot the ball, Jerron inside out. I mean, play your game, because all offense is suited for that. But you have to defend, because you give yourself a chance to win the game. And that's who we are. We have to defend at a high level in order to be successful. Because we can't hang our hat on whether or not shots are falling some nights. If they don't fall for you, you got to be able to defend and keep yourself in the game.
How much do you think him getting the starting lineup, Skyler, I mean, that has had to do with his shooting lately or anything at all? Do you think it's helping him get off to better starts?
I don't think so. I think more than anything, our team is better. You know, so now it helps him because your team is better. Your post guys are demanding a double team because he's not getting any shots in any different location than he did before. We don't even run plays for him. You know, so he's getting his shots within offense. That's the great thing about, you know, running the motion offense, having space, and your bigs able to play. And that's why I've said from day one, I'd rather have a better basketball player at the end of the year than to draw up another play. And our guys have become better players. And that's what helps when you're able to cut and move and have space and use your dribble penetration and find guys. But I don't think so, because I think he's been consistent whether he's coming off the bench or starting.
Do you still have elements of the offense to put in? I mean, the first year, you still, you know, is the arsenal not completely?
Oh, we'll definitely grow from an offensive standpoint. But I'd rather be good defensively first, because I think you can always incorporate offense in a system. But if you're sound defensive, you give yourself a chance to win games. But we still have, you know, some offense we'll put in. But we try to simplify, not putting so many plays in, because we have actions where there's 4 different actions out of one play, but we haven't put a lot of stuff in.
Cuonzo, you talked about the bench earlier. Obviously, Jordan's last couple games has been giving you some production there, but it seems like he's been more active in more areas than just scoring. We know he can score, but what about him? Has he changed as a player throughout this year, improved to where he can, you know, provide help in different areas?
Well, I think more than anything, just making a commitment to do what's asked and be a part of a team and want to be successful. Because I wasn't wavering in my approach. And I think it's a credit to Jordan McRae to understand in order for him to be successful and our team to be successful, these are the things that are required in order for us to put forward. And he's done a great job with that. He's taken charges. But if you watch his approach in practice, it's at another level. I mean, he's attacking the rim. We got a couple of dunks the last game. He's been more aggressive, and he's not thinking about his offense comes. Because once again, we didn't run one play for him. He scored 14 points in the last game. But because of the space in his approach, he's able to score the ball.
You were talking about McNeil a couple minutes ago, and the last couple games, he's always been such a controlled shooter. You know, he only takes it in certain spots, only when he's got a little bit of space. The last couple games, he's really kind of caught fire from the baseline a couple times, and hasn't really looked like that since high school. Is that a sign of how much further his confidence has come along?
I think so, and there's also things we do in practice to get him where he's moving and not just a catch and shoot guy. We spend a lot of time where he's running the baseline, running the perimeter, catching and shooting. I tell him sometimes you got to take a tough shot here and there. Where the guys, he's all low, he still shoot the ball. Because what happens is it's on the other team's mind. And with him out there, you have to identify him on the floor. And I tell him to take some tough shots, even if he miss them, because they still have to identify with him on the floor. And I think for him, just being aggressive to shoot the ball. And he has to, you know, as a shooter, when you're a real shooter, you got to be able to take and make tough shots. And he's starting to do that.
Is this more the role or the way I know you don't really know the crystal ball thing. You don't know guys do different things during the season. You find out what they can and can't do. But is this what you thought was possible for Skyler, the way he's played maybe the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think so, because you see him, he has good form with his shot. And I don't know if it's necessarily lacking confidence, but you grow as your role grows. All of a sudden, here's a guy he has a prominent role, he has a chance to be a part of success, and he's in it. And there's the things that I demand from him, and at the level I want him to play at. So there are things that are required from a practice standpoint, how you approach practice, how he's constantly moving, but it's also the condition of the body to be constantly moving. That's not an easy thing to do, but you watch a guy like Ray Allen, he moves all the time. Guys that are catch and shoot guys, you have to be moving all the time to get looks and make that defense work.
Can he be a motivating factor? I don't want to single out McRae specifically, but some other guys on the team who haven't been getting the minutes that they want. Can a guy like him can he be sort of motivation for them watching, just see when you work, this is what happens?
I think so. I mean, because the whole thing I tell guys, it ain't necessarily who's the best player, who's the best talent. It's guys that put the work in. I have a lot of guys that I played against in college, I wasn't the best player, but I won the battle. And I think, but his approach every day in practice is the same way. You can walk in where we practice on Tuesday or Friday, it's going to be the same Skylar McBee every day. And that's why he's able to function in game situations, because of his approach.
Coach, can you talk about Arkansas's press and how it's different than what you've seen this year?
Well, I think for those guys, I mean, it's constant. It's from start to finish. It's not a case where let's press a couple possessions, see how they handle it. They're pressing the whole game. They'll run and jump at you. They don't necessarily get you in the backcourt unless they feel like there's an opportunity or they're down big in games. So it's just one of those deals. They keep running guys at you, and their 1 through 4s are really kind of perimeter guys, unless they have Sanchez on the ball pressing. But it's really 1 through 4. They all guards, and they run and jumping at you. And they'll switch everything when they get back on the backside. So it's not a case where you feel like there's a sign of relief, because they're still pressing you, and they won't allow you to let up. So you have to really do a good job attacking the rim under control.
Is it a true press, or is there a lot of traps? I mean, how many different presses did they throw? I mean,
They do different things. You see a little different when after a free throw, after a made basket. They don't really press after missed shots. They back on the court, but it's a little different after free throws and made baskets.
as far as your team's ability to handle the press so far this year, haven't given much problems, it seems.
Not really. That's fine. I mean, I think really just passing the ball. We try to move it through the air as opposed to a lot of dribbling. Unless you have to dribble to get across the court, we want to pass the ball up the court, get 3-point shots, or attack the rim.
Who gets credit for that ability to make those passes and execute against the press?
Who's ever passing it, really. Who's ever making the pass, get up the court. And I think Jerron's the key with our press more than anybody. He does a really good job of facilitating. He's one of our better ball handlers and decision makers. So when he get the ball, he can get it up. It really helps us.